Hello, students and parents. It's Mr. Motal, the principal at Liberty Hill Junior High. I'm going to spend the next few minutes reviewing our in-person and our remote learning plans for the 2020-21 school year. We have created a summary sheet that outlines our remote learning plan for the 2020-21 school year. I highly encourage you to read through that, look at it, discuss it at home, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me and I'll be happy to answer them to the best of my abilities. The one point that I want to make for our remote learning option for the 2020-21 school year is that students will be learning asynchronously at home. Teachers will post their lessons to Google Classroom by 8 a.m. that morning, and then students will have the duration of the day to complete those assignments inside Google Classroom for each one of their classes they're assigned. It's very important you complete the assignments each day for two reasons. The first reason is for attendance. When you complete the assignment, we know that you're engaged and we can count you present. The second reason is that we know that you're learning the material and you're making progress towards mastering the standards that the teachers have put forward. If you're not completing those, then we don't know if you're engaged. We don't know what you're doing. We don't know what you're learning. So we want you to go in every morning, 8 o'clock, see what's going on so that way you can complete the assignments. You have all throughout the day to get those done. Don't feel like at 8 a.m. you have to stay at the computer for the next 5, 6, 7 hours and work straight. That's not the goal. But we want you to go on, check first thing in the morning, so that way you can see what assignments need to be done. We have attached the sample remote learning schedule. Again, this is just a sample. Since it's asynchronous, you are going to be able to determine your own schedule to work. Once school has started, we will publish our teachers' office hours, so that way you know when teachers are available for you to call, for you to email, or for you to visit with them synchronously through Google Meets. And that way you can ask any questions that you may have, and the teachers can follow up with you to make sure that you're learning and mastering all the content that they're putting out. The goal throughout the day is not for you to spend hours upon hours in front of the computer screen. Many of the assignments that you will have in Google Classroom will require you to be on the computer for a short amount of time, learning or listening new material, and then you'll work independently for a period of time, and then you will come back to Google Classroom to submit the assignment. And that's a perfect pattern for you to get into, work a little bit on the screen, not on the screen, and then come back. Again, we don't want you spending hours and hours on the screen, but you are responsible for getting that work done every day. We've also created a chart that shows the differences between on-campus and remote learning, so that way you can look through that and see the differences between the two, so that way you can make the most informed decision for yourself. When it comes to Google Classroom, I want to show you an example of what it's going to look like. This is my sample Google Classroom that I have. Yours will look a little different because obviously you will have your different periods, first period, second period, third period. This is the one that we have within our school. We've created a sample remote learning class for us to demo. When you open up your class, you're going to click on classwork. And then every Google Classroom is going to be arranged the same way to make it easy and simple for you. So for example, you see first 6 weeks, week 1 starts August 22nd. First 6 weeks, week 2 starts August 31st. And then as we keep adding assignments, you would have first 6 weeks, week 3, first 6 weeks, week 4. So everything's going to be organized by week. And then under each week, there's a day. Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, all the different days are going to be in there. So that way, if it's Monday, you would go click on the Monday. If it's Tuesday, you would click on the Tuesday, and you'll know exactly what you need to complete for the day. In our example, I'm going to click on Tuesday. So when I click on Tuesday, then I see that there's an assignment. I click on the assignment, and it takes me to it. There may be one assignment in here, or there might be 2 or 3 assignments in here. It would kind of depend on the class and what's being done that day. This example has one assignment. So I'm going to click on the Google slide. And when I open up the Google slide, there's going to be slides to take me through the lesson. So the first thing I would start off in this ELA example is read my self-selected novel for 10 minutes. We've embedded a timer. After 10 minutes, I'm going to log into this Pixton website. I click on it. It's a link. It takes me to the Pixton website. And then I would go ahead and log in and I would create my storyboard. When I'm done with my storyboard, I will save the link. And if you notice, it says, please post your Pixton comic strip link to Google Classroom. So once I copy my link, I would go back to Google Classroom, add work, link, and I'd paste the link right in there so that way it could be submitted. Then as I make my way through the lesson, I'd see what am I supposed to do? How am I going to do it? Why am I going to do it? The next slide is where the teacher models. Listen and watch Ms. Prescott read aloud. And so Ms. Prescott would have a video link here. This one's for YouTube for demonstrations purposes. But we'd have a video link here where the teacher would be doing the read aloud. You could listen to the teacher do the read aloud. You'd be able to pause it, come back to it as often as you needed to. And then we'd have a video of the teacher demonstrating the somebody wanted but so then. And then we have a chart down here that you would be able to fill out along the way as the teacher demos. Then we're going to practice together. Draw somebody wanted but so then chart in your writer's notebook. If you were in person, that's what that would look like. But since we're not in person and remote, we would create a link for Padlet. So you'd have the read aloud, don't let the pigeon drive the bus, click on the Padlet, and then I'd be able to fill in the various topics of somebody wanted but so then. So this would be a way for me to practice the skill. So the teacher taught me the skill, I went along with the teacher. Now the teacher is practicing the skill, I'm practicing with the teacher. And then finally, it would come down to you do it by yourself, your assessment. Read the following short story, click on the link. I'd go to the story, I'd read the story on my own. Then I'd come back and it would say, write a summary in the somebody wanted but so then chart. So I could come down here and I could type it into my chart. And then when I'm done, here's my assessment. I'm going to click on the Google form, click the link, and then it's asking me to answer the question, somebody wanted but so then, and then what class period I'm in. And then you would click submit and the teacher would see that you did the assessment for the day. And then we'd have a final wrap-up slide of what you learned, how you learned it, and why you learned it. So then at the end of the day, all you have to do is click on each one of the slides, follow the assignments that are in there, follow the links that are there, and you'd be able to participate. When you're done, you click done, and then the teacher knows you're done. The other thing I want to show you in Google Classroom is the private comments. So right here, you could add a comment. I need help with the somebody wanted but so then chart. And you could click send, and then the teacher would know that you're asking for help for that assignment, and they would be able to follow up with you. That's one way that you could get help if you needed it. So both our in-person and our remote students will use a similar format to this. So all of our students will be getting practice assignments through Google Classroom and submitting assignments and assessments through Google Classroom. The differences would be in-person students here in school, you'd have teacher interaction, you'd have peer interaction, there would be groups working together. It would be a live format. And then if you're remote working from home, follow the same format Google Classroom, but it'd be asynchronous. So you'd be working independently. You'd be going through your assignments, clicking them off, and then you would click submit into Google Classroom, add comments, and then go to teacher's office hours when they need help, or if you need some help, or if the teacher's requiring you to be there for some type of interaction, you would do that then. If you have any questions, please send us an email. Thank you so much.